Most execs think they should be leading their EA, but here's the truth. When you let your EA lead, everything changes. Hey, I'm Jen, founder of the Kick Assistant. I help founders and execs unlock the real power of their EA so they can scale without burning out. Today, we're diving into what happens when you give your EA the space to lead and why it transforms not just your workload, but your entire business. Okay, so every executive I know really wants to have this like solid proactive assistant that leads things and moves things forward, that keeps them on point, that keeps them on track, that really anticipates their needs, clears the road blocks, knows what their priorities are, all those things. Most executives kind of end up in this bubble with their assistant where they have this more reactive EA, where their EA feels like they're stuck waiting for instructions, and you as the exec feels like you're drowning or you're always behind. And that happens a lot because there's this lack of trust, right? Like, we as executives are running our businesses and we've spent so much time doing everything ourselves. It's really difficult sometimes to hand off some of those things that we feel like we would do better. But when you can really lean into that development of that relationship with your assistant and really grow and build that trust, it shifts everything in the way that we can operate. It'll really multiply your time and your focus to be able to really direct and keep on point with the things that you need to be doing. It up levels your assistant in so many ways. And I feel like this is a huge thing that gets missed a lot. With the more opportunity that we have to unlock our assistants and to let them know that we trust them, to really create this sense of ownership, that's when they get better. But so often, and I really feel like a lot of times this is the same with dealing with kids or spouses or anything, the more that we, kind of pull them back and question what they're doing or, keep them in this box that we think they should be in, it doesn't give them this opportunity to thrive and grow. And then you wonder, hey, why isn't my assistant, able to do X, Y, or Z? But it's so often because we as the execs aren't unlocking them with that accountability, that ownership, and that trust to let them really lead. So what you need to do is really harness that and let them take the lead so you don't have to run everything all the time. Okay, so the reality is that we all know that when we're in here, kind of leading our own meetings and directing everything forward ourselves, it makes it hard for us to really feel like we're in it. I think of times where you sit through meetings and you're sitting there taking notes. I mean, thank God for, Otter AI and Fathom and Fireflies, right? Who's tracking all our notes and stuff for us now anyways. But you have this ability now to have this assistant who's really in there creating these incredible agendas for you to make sure that you're staying on track, to make sure that you're focused where you should be in meetings, to say, hey guys, you only have 5 minutes left or whatever it is, to just keep you on course. But not only that, now you also have somebody there that's able to capture action items and make sure that you are being held accountable for the things you promised. Because we all know as executives, how often we sit there and say, hey, after this call, I'll get you X, Y, or Z, or hey, we make promises that like, oh yeah, I'll get you a copy of that book or whatever it is that we say. How often is it that we drop the ball and forget we're supposed to follow up and do those things? And that's where this really incredible proactive assistant steps into this role to be able to take those action items for us and move those things forward. They can really, curate that follow-up game so much better than we're already doing, because that's something they generally love to do and are really good at, really building those relationships with people that we're, curating all the time. And they help kind of up level your commitments too, to make sure that you're doing the things you should be doing, when you should be doing them, where you should be doing them, how you should be doing them, and keeping you completely on track. Not only that, a good EA coming in here is also really good for you to help kind of quiet that noise that's happening all around you all the time, whether it's in your inbox, whether it's in your calendar, whether it's just in the way you lead your week. You have this person who's here to able to filter that noise, to make sure that you're focused where you should be, on what you should be, to help prioritize your goals and your action items, to make sure that the things that you need to be getting done are actually getting done. I mean, we all know that problem we have where we write down a to-do list for the week and say, these are the things I should be doing, and then never look at it again until the end of the week and then say, shoot, I didn't get any of those things done because we let other people's priorities take the lead. You have this person who's this true strategic partner ready to jump in and guide you and say, hey, you should be working on this thing this week because it's part of the company goals for the quarter or whatever it is, just making sure that they can lead you forward. And they really are able to kind of harness and guard that focus for you to really keep your true intention where you want it to be. Beyond that, They're also really good at managing and gauging timelines around projects and operations to really keep things moving forward and ensure that, again, our focus, but not only our focus, the whole company's focus is really where it should be. Thinking about the way that bringing in this true strategic partner, this true proactive assistant into this role can really adjust and kind of shift the way that things happen in our businesses every day. The biggest one that I see all the time when you have this really amazing rock star EA step into this role is that it gives you, as the exec, this opportunity to really stay in your own lane. I have so many clients that like to call them their superpowers or their unique genius or whatever you call them. These things that you don't feel like you get to spend enough time doing because you're constantly putting out fires and working on things that you shouldn't be doing, right? This opens you up to be really able to focus on things that you love to do, that you want to do, that are income generators or things that just really kind of spark you, right? So you've got things that are like, your vision time, or to be able to focus more on leadership, or, to really build out strategy around the business, or, sales. So many of you guys are just like love to do sales. This opportunity to do these things more that you really love to do finally can be unlocked by letting this person really take the lead on so many other things that you're doing all the time that you shouldn't be. And not only that, it also really unlocks this opportunity for them to be able to really lean into company culture. I don't think that a lot of people recognize the idea of how much a good EA can really carry that company culture. Us as executives are so good at, like, I always make this joke about entrepreneurs, right? Like, there's this hustle mentality of entrepreneurs that you're just like, you move from the next thing to the next thing to the next thing, and you forget, to celebrate wins along the way. Not only that, you forget to document processes along the way. You forget to stop and, cheer and be excited with the team, with the people, like, to really cultivate and curate that intention into that company culture. But a good EA can really help you harness that, help you harness the vision you have for what you want your team to look like, but really keep things like alight with the team to make sure that you can create that real familial atmosphere that so many of us really kind of want. So you've got this opportunity for this person to lean into that. And I've seen so many EAs really take that helm with such like gusto, right? Like they're so excited to be able to lead, company book clubs, or to, set up a time where there's like a water cooler channel in Slack, or to have, one-on-one real conversations with people, like over meals, whatever, game nights, whatever, these kind of things that you want to do that really can make an impact on the team and make them all recognize that you value what they bring to the table. And a good EA can help unlock all of that. Another thing that I think is really cool is the way that we as executives can see this growth compound across the board. A good EA stepping into this and really demonstrating this for other people shows them this ability that now you trust this other person to step into this role, to really have this accountability, this ownership. Now other people see it and they recognize it, and it really kind of creates this ability for other people to step in and really want to create their own systems, their own processes, and let them be accountable and have the sense of ownership that is really lacking in a lot of industries right now. So letting this one role be unlocked to do so much more than we're allowing them right now unlocks so much of the rest of your team to do the same thing. I mean, realistically, how many of us got into entrepreneurship with the idea of, like, my last exec always likes to say freedom and impact, right? Like, we're finally able to do that by having a really good EA come in and do this thing. But we get so distracted with the weeds, we forget that's what it's all about. So finally now, having this person fill this role gives you this opportunity to really have that true freedom and impact as an entrepreneur you want to have, but have been so far unable to do so. So ultimately, the reality is that if you go from this true, like, strategic, if you want to get to this, I guess I should say, if you want to get to this true strategic partnership with a really solid EA, this really reactive or proactive EA, you want to get to that really proactive EA that can really unlock and unleash you, you need to take your current reactive EA and just to give them this, like, ownership and opportunity to really lead. When you let your EA lead, you stop managing tasks and you really start building momentum. If this was helpful, hit subscribe for more founder and EA strategies. And if you're ready to unlock your own rockstar EA, head to thekickassistant.com to learn how we can help.